I just bought a crash damaged Bentley Continental GTC for just half the price of a Ford Fiesta.
Sold on approval.
This is my first ever crash damaged car from Copart, and I've gone in heavy for my first build. From the photos online, the damage didn't look too bad. Everything seemed like it could be a straightforward repair. Plus, it was listed as a runner and driver, which is always a good sign. But because of the accident, the car's now a Category N write-off, meaning the insurance company decided it wasn't worth repairing. Instead, the previous owner could just waltz into the Bentley dealership and buy themselves a fresh, mint condition replacement.
But not me. I've always been a risk taker. Blind buying a 6-litre W12 twin-turbo crash-damaged Bentley with lopsided suspension sounds like just the type of car I'm looking to buy.
And as you lot know, I love a luxury car, whether it's cheap, old or absolutely wrecked. And for years, my go-to has always been Range Rovers. But let's be honest, everyone's buying them right now, especially on YouTube. And after I picked up the world's cheapest Range Rover for £375, well, I wanted a new challenge, something even more risky. And this might just be the riskiest one yet.
And I've always wanted to buy a Bentley, and I've always wanted to buy something from Copart, which made this the perfect time to dive headfirst in to a crash damaged Bentley. What could possibly go wrong?
So let's start the 5-hour round trip up to Copart and pick up this crash damaged Bentley.
Hello mate. How you doing?
Oh, you alright?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Yeah. Just pull round there, mate. Have you pressed the arrive on the app?
Yes.
Yeah. Just sit there and we'll get to you as soon as.
Nice one, thank you.
So now we had to make our way into the car park where we have to wait until the car is brought out for us. It's all done via the Copart transportation app, which makes things quick, but in most cases they just hoist out the cars with a forklift tractor. Now after about 20 minutes of waiting, I was certain I just saw the Bentley being driven, which had me surprised. But as I began to look closely through the metal fence, it did look like the front end of a Bentley. And I was right, I couldn't believe it.
No way. Seems alright, apart from something just flew off it. No way.
Have you ever seen a Bentley in a worse state than this? It literally looks like it's been parked in the Sahara Desert for the last 6 months. But even still, I'm just happy to see it driving on its own.
Guys, I was not expecting that for the car to be driven out. All of the cars we've seen so far have been lifted on the truck, but it's a good sign that the car is running and driving. Let's get it loaded on the truck. I can't believe I've actually just bought a Bentley Continental GTC from Copart auction, and it seems to be alright, to be honest with you. The fact that it was driven here is a very, very good sign. Damage wise, it's not actually that bad. So the main thing we've seen is obviously the front suspension. It could be a leak, or maybe we need to change the shock absorber, but this bumper has seen better days, as well as this headlight and the wing. But the rest of this side of the car doesn't seem too bad. Little scratch on the rear quarter. On the rear, number plate obviously isn't included, but there is a bit of a story with this, so I'm going to get into that later on, of the backstory with this car. But the bumper over here has seen better days as well. We probably can get that repaired. Wing, yeah, I think that's not a big issue at all, to be honest. Not a big issue. I'm not concerned at all. But really and truly, take a look at that. Wow. My Bentley Continental GTC from Copart crash damaged. This one is going to be interesting. Let's get it home. So fast forward the next morning, you join me in my Bentley Continental GTC. It is a car that I've always wanted, but I've just never had the minerals, shall I say, to buy one, because there's a lot of problems you can have with owning a Bentley, and it isn't cheap, because let's be honest, this car brand new was around £150,000. However, I want to get into the reasons on why this specific Bentley, why would I buy a high mileage crash damaged Bentley from Copart without seeing it, test driving it, Sounds like a crazy thing to do, but I've got my reasons and I'm going to explain everything to why this specific car. So, as you've probably seen on the car, it's got a private number plate. Now, this private number plate is not actually for this car. Once upon a time, it was on here, so physically, yes, it's on this Bentley, but legally, it's actually been now put onto a 2013 Bentley, I believe. So the owner of this car has obviously bought another Bentley. Now, that number plate is actually the reason why I got this car. Let me explain. On the photos, you can't see what number plate this car's got. It's covered with Copart, or they've got tape put over the number plate. However, once you look at the report of the car, you can see if it's had any previous registrations. And one of those registrations, what was it? L4UXE. So the first thing I done was go onto Google, typed in L4UXE to see if there's any sort of documentation, photos or videos of this car. Now in this case, what I found was a photo of this car with a number plate on, and there was a lady standing next to the car posing or taking a photo with the car. The lady in question was called Lorna Lux. Now to me, I didn't really think anything of it. I thought it's just a coincidence. Maybe this is just a lady taking a photo next to a Bentley. Now, when I showed my wife, that's where things got a little bit different. Straight away, she knew who Lorna Lux was. Massive influencer. I think she's got like 1 million followers on one of her platforms. Chances are it's probably come from a good home. So that's my logic behind buying this crash damaged Bentley from Copart.
Now, we need to move on to some of those immediate issues. The coolant light is on and the oil seemed a tad low on the dipstick. So let's start with topping up the coolant. Slight concern, the tank was completely empty, which meant I ended up adding in 2 litres to get it to the maximum mark. That's not good.
Now I've already checked the oil last night and it is just above minimum. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put the full litre in, because these cars do take about, I think it's 10 or 12 litres. So
it's actually 12.5 litres to be precise. So adding 1 litre is just a sip for this engine.
Right, so that's done. Let's get the cap put back on. Now let's see how the trickle charge has been doing overnight, and hopefully we can get this Bentley running without some major coolant leak, because I'm a bit concerned why we've just added in so much coolant, but this car may have been sat around for about 6 months or so, so you never know. Right, so, okay, it's not looking very, very good. We've only got one, it hasn't even gone past the first bar actually, that's really bad. It doesn't look like it's really doing much, this battery.
Which could explain why the car was listed with a roof malfunction along with various dash warning lights. These cars are very sensitive to low voltage.
Let me just unplug this and see where we are when we start this Bentley. Right, foot on brake, ignition on. Seems all right, seems good. No fault codes on the dash. Coolant light's gone. There was a roof light as well to say the roof wasn't working. Okay, windscreen washer fluid light has come on, but that's nothing major. I think it's looking okay. Last night we had a coolant light on. An oil pressure light actually came on just for a brief moment, which did have me a little bit concerned. And it did also say that there was a roof fault on the dash. And when I did try and use the roof yesterday, it wasn't working, but I thought it could be battery related. And the other fault, which was very clear to see when I picked up the car, was that front near side suspension was really, really collapsed. But since we got the car taken off the truck, put into the driveway, and I just ran it for a little bit, pressed about the air suspension buttons, even though I didn't really think it was doing much, the car has risen to the correct level, and overnight it's held it. So I think we're onto a winner so far. Let's just see how the car runs up to temperature and if it overheats, and let's see if we get any more oil related lights, whether that's pressure or if the level is low. Fingers crossed, this is a good one. Engine sounds pretty good, pretty healthy, nothing out of the ordinary for something like this, but I've never had a W12 before, so if you have, let me know. The coolant level, can't really see it on the camera, but the coolant level is still where it needs to be. It hasn't dipped down, so I don't think we've got any major leak. A little bit concerning though to why the coolant level did drop. So could it be that there is a small leak somewhere and just over that 6-month period it's stripped down? But either way, I think so far this is looking pretty promising.
But now let's address the dirt and get this car cleaned.
So my jet wash is playing up. I can't get the attachment on other than the snow foam, so we're just gonna have to make do with low pressure. It'll do.
What a difference a quick wash at home has made to the Bentley. Compared to the horrible dusty state it arrived in, it's actually looking half decent now, and the paintwork surprisingly looks spot on.
Now that we've got the car clean, I want to show you around the car, talk you through some of the spec, but more importantly, get into exactly how much this cheap Bentley cost me. The car comes with double glazed windows, so we don't hear any riffraff outside. We've also got these 20-inch Bentley Continental speed wheels, which look fantastic, but don't give it any more speed. We've also got soft closed doors. Nice. And if I press this button down here, we've got massage seats. Oh, so good. I can feel the money. I can feel the wealth. Rich. Now, being a Mulliner spec, you do get quite a few luxury options, but the biggest and most obvious thing are these quilted seats, as well as those door cards. As well as that, you get these lovely embroidered Bentley logos in the headrest. Very ideal for flexers. I've actually seen many of these on Snapchat stories over the years. But overall, Mulliner means more luxury. The head unit's been changed as well, which is a good thing to be honest, because this is a 2009 car, so the tech would be pretty bad, but DAB radio and Bluetooth music, nice little upgrade. And to top it off, I've found the original number plates for the car, meaning I've saved myself 30 quid. I wonder how many miles I could drive if I put 30 quid in the tank. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Now, how much did I pay for this crash damaged Bentley Continental GTC? I won this Bentley for a bid of £9,800. With the fees, that came to £10,698. And when you compare that to the price of what these cars are on the market, starting at around over £20,000, I think for the price of £9,800 bid, with some fees and getting this car delivered back, it's owing me just under £11,000. And after collecting this car, I thought I had hit the jackpot. The bodywork seemed like it needed very minor repairs to get this car back on the road. But oh boy, how wrong was I. That's because I found a serious mechanical issue with this engine, and it could mean it's game over for the Bentley.
But it all started when I first spotted this car online, and straight away something caught my eye. The coolant light was on, but the engine, it was running and it didn't seem to be overheating, nor was there a cloud of smoke pouring out the back in any of the photos. Fast forward to getting it home, the first thing I did was I chucked in 1 litre of engine oil, then 2 litres of coolant, which did have me slightly concerned, but then the following evening I went to start it up and saw this. And then the next morning I saw this. So first things first, let's get it back on a recovery truck and take it straight down to the mechanic so we can find out exactly what on earth has gone wrong with this cheap Bentley. Now, as the car was being offloaded, it started to hit me of the potential repairs and costs that we are going to have on this car. And to make things worse, the smoke was starting to really plume out thick, much worse than what it was when I first noticed it. But that's just the risk I took with buying something blind from an auction without seeing it or even test driving it.
That is not how a Bentley is meant to be running. That is a hell of a lot of smoke coming out of the exhaust. Flipping hell.
It's quite something seeing a 6-litre W12 engine smoking like this. This isn't no small engine to work with, but now that we've got the car inside, let's start investigating with why this car is smoking like a steam train. And if you're enjoying this series so far, don't forget to click that subscribe button.
So, what's the first plan of action, you think?
We must go to the spark plugs.
Yeah?
Move coils.
Yeah. See if we've got any coolant in there.
open them,
Yeah.
and we can go with the camera inside to see if it's wet or not. Even we can see from the spark plugs if they are wet.
So you heard the mechanic. We are going to start by removing the spark plugs, as this could show us any potential issues we have, as well as giving us access to the cylinder where we can use a camera to look inside if needed. But first, we need to remove a few things to gain access, as one of the things this engine doesn't give us is space to work.
Has it got a date on there?
I think yes. You see, that's always that. It's 250522, yeah.
22. Okay.
2022. That is something you will want to remember, as later on we find some shocking information after contacting Bentley for some vital info on this car. But for now, let's remove that airbox, as this will give us access to 3 of the 6 spark plugs just from this bank. But to get to those spark plugs, we need to first gently pop out each of these coils, then we can take a ratchet to loosen those plugs by hand, as we don't want to wreck any of the threads.
Big job.
That's the problem with these cars. Nice cars, nice big engine, but when things go wrong, it's not good, is it?
Yeah.
And just from removing a few spark plugs, they all seemed as expected, which is a good sign. But that does mean we have to keep looking, so it's time to bring out the camera. These endoscopes are brilliant for looking inside of an engine. So let's see if we find anything. And genuinely, my heart was starting to race rapidly at this point.
These drops are on the piston, yeah? Maybe now this engine is cold.
But as we begin to look a bit further, there's a couple of things which are starting to show.
Coolant, you see?
Yeah.
You see this coolant?
Yeah. Yeah. Not looking good, is it?
Not looking good because it's head gasket problem.
That's not good.
Yes, it's inside the cylinder, yeah?
So, as my mechanic has said, and we can all clearly see, there is coolant inside the engine where it shouldn't be. Not really what I wanted to hear, but if I'm being honest, white smoke coming out of the exhaust, even if the car wasn't overheating, it's never a good sign and would point towards having a potential head gasket failure. For anyone who doesn't know, this is a head gasket. It sits between the cylinder head and the engine block and creates a tight seal. Now, if for any reason an engine was overheating, in a short space of time it can cause damage to the gasket, warping, splitting, anything which allows oil and coolant to start mixing. And when this happens, a quick way of knowing this is by checking your oil cap for what looks like mayonnaise. And the other obvious sign which I had is white smoke puffing out of your exhaust, in which case stop driving immediately and get your engine inspected straight away.
Well, that hasn't gone to plan then. I wasn't expecting things to get so complicated and expensive with this Bentley. Obviously, a part of me did know the risk I'm taking on by buying this car. I know when things go wrong that it is going to be very, very expensive, and that's what we're seeing. It's not looking like it's going to be a cheap fix, but we are going to get into my options. We're going to get into all those costs and talk about what we're going to have to do now with this car to get it rectified. Now, I did do a bit of digging to find out a little bit more about the Bentley, so I didn't get any paperwork with this car at all. No logbook, no service history, but as I mentioned in the last video, I thought that this car would have some sort of history just based on the fact that its low owners come from good homes. Well, I thought it did, but we'll come on to that later. So I was able to call up Bentley and they could confirm when the car had service history, from what point up until when. So I'll run you through that now. And it does get quite interesting actually. So the first service is probably like a run-in service, which was done in 2009 at 1,300 miles. Since then, it was serviced every year, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, but it was at the start, so still fine, 19, and then there was a gap, which I'm going to touch on now. So, from when the car was new up until 2019, the car was serviced at Bentley, Surrey, and the mileage at that point was 39,526 miles. Now, the owner who had the accident in the Bentley, who I obviously got the car from effectively, they took ownership of the car in 2020 at around 39,000 miles as well. So I presume then it was probably sat at the forecourt or whatever. So makes sense, they bought the car with around just under 40,000 miles. Now, slightly alarming, they didn't get the car serviced until 64,000 miles. So they had driven 25,000 miles before they got the car serviced. And as well as that, it had been over 3 years since the previous service. So it's not a good thing that the car had not been serviced for that period of time. But now this is where things get worse in my opinion. In August 2024, the car went to Bentley Sussex for some sort of warranty claim. The work was to do with a tensioning cable, but there is no record of a service being done since 64,000 miles. So it's gone to the Bentley dealership, but for whatever reason, it hasn't had a service. Now, I'm sure many of you be thinking that they may have taken the car elsewhere for a service. You're not wrong, that is still possibly the case. However, the reason why I'm inclined to think that it's not the case is because, one, the oil was quite black and it obviously was quite low. And as well as that, we did just check the air filter and it was dated in 2022, which correlates to the service at 64,477 miles. So all of these points suggest that the car has not been serviced since 64,000 miles in 2022. The reason that is very, very concerning is because we know that the car currently has about 104,000 miles. That would mean that the car has not been serviced in 40,000 miles. Yeah, 40,000 miles. I hope that's not the case. If it is, it probably would explain why we have a bit of an issue with this engine, and it may have been an underlying issue that has caused this to happen. I don't know, there's so many things that could have gone wrong, but that's our first big clue and insight into this Bentley engine. Now, the problem with these types of cars are that any type of job that needs to get done on the engine, whether it's small, a lot of the times the engine has to come out, which means it's very, very labor intensive. That is why these cars are very cheap to buy, because the ongoing cost and maintenance and repair bills are very, very high. So that's just something you have to think about. So what are my options with this Bentley? I've got two options. The first option I have is to replace this head gasket. The risk here is if we do remove the head, drop out the engine, and we can see that there is any further damage such as a cracked head, it's more likely going to mean we're going to have to replace the engine. So that would incur in even more costs. The second option I have is to just remove this engine completely and replace it with a second-hand one. That does come with its own risk as well, because if we are buying a second-hand engine, we do not know if that's got any, underlying issues as well. They will come with a 30-day warranty, so obviously you can get the engine fitted and see if there is any issues. However, if that is the case and there is an issue and I get my money back for the engine, I'm still going to be liable to pay for the labor involved, which is going to be, again, in the thousands. So I'll be paying twice for something. So you can understand why it is a bit of a difficult situation. And if I was to go down the route of going to a specialist, obviously they command a premium and their labor rates are much, much higher. And I did actually speak to one Bentley specialist who he did give me a bit of an insight and an idea of what I should expect to pay to replace a head gasket on my engine. And he said I'm not going to really get much change from £10,000. That is a lot of money, basically the price which I paid for this car. And that's not something which I think is viable for me to get done. However, if I was to get it done at my mechanics where their labor rates are lower, it would make it a bit more affordable. So let me just run through a quotation I got for the parts needed for the head gasket. And there are many parts that you need because remember, this is a W12. So effectively we're looking at 2 engines. So everything is ×2. So we need to get a head gasket for bank 1 and bank 2. Again, a rocker cover gasket for bank 1 and bank 2. We need 12 coil spark plug seals. We need a Vanos solenoid seal, an inlet manifold gasket, an inlet manifold to head gasket, and you need 2 of those, 4 gaskets for the exhaust manifold, 24 hexagon socket oval heads, 27 cylinder head bolts, which are the short ones, and then 14 cylinder head bolts, which are the long ones. The total cost of this, including the VAT, is £1,604.67. On top of that, once we get the heads removed, we have to take them to a company where they can pressure test them, get them skimmed, which comes out of cost as well. I think it's somewhere in the region of £300 to £400 to get all of that done. But at the end, I will put a total of the comparisons of both options so you know exactly how much both are going to cost. Now, if we go down the route of getting a second-hand engine, the cost of this can vary massively. We can get an engine from anywhere from £1,200 upwards to sort of £7,000 to £8,000. All going to depend on the mileage, the warranty, the year, and the guarantee of how this engine is going to be. But as I touched on, still very risky due to the fact that if there are issues, I'm still losing out on the labor cost of getting the engine changed. I did actually find a very, very cheap engine on eBay. I managed to negotiate it down to £1,200, which is very, very cheap. It did have a couple of parts which would need swapping from my engine, such as a power steering pump, the alternator, and a few other little small things, but £1,200 was very cheap. Now, I spoke to the guy, sound guy, he gave me all the details which I needed, and I'd done some checks on the car and it's not for me. It's done 90,000 miles, which isn't a problem. However, it's had 17 owners. I wouldn't buy a car with 17 owners, nor would I buy a Bentley with 17 owners. So I don't really want to mess around with getting an engine put into the car that's got 17 owners. And £1,200 is cheap, but it could be cheap for a reason. So I am swaying away from looking at that specific engine. You know, I might save a bit of money in the short run, but equally I could end up spending more money in the long run if I go down that route. So something I'm going to have to think about. But to give you a conclusion, if I am to replace a head gasket, I am going to be looking at a total bill of between £4,000 to £5,000, and a big portion of that will be made up of labour, which will be anywhere around £2,500 just for the labour. Or if I go with the second option, which is to replace the engine, and I buy that cheap one for £1,200, that will end up costing me around just under £3,000. So £1,200 for the engine, and then about £1,500 for the labour to get it fitted. Plus fluids, it's going to be around £3,000. So those are my two options. One is cheaper than the other, but it may cost me more in the long run. Equally, the head gasket may still cause me problems once we strip down the engine, and that could also cost me more money. So it definitely is something which I really need to think about and weigh up all the pros and cons and decide what is the right things to do with this Bentley. But let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think I should do? What options do you think I should look at? Is there a third option which I'm missing that I could be looking at? Or even if any of you have had a Bentley before with similar issues, let me know what your outcome was and how you rectify the situation, because this is new territory to me. I've never had a Bentley. I've never even had a head gasket go on a car. And out of all the cars it happens to go first on, it happened to be a W12 engine. So let me know, guys, what you think I should do.
Since getting this thing back home, I originally thought that this would be a nice simple Copart rebuild. You know, get it in, a few panels, maybe a bit of paint and back on the road. But of course, that didn't happen. In true Copart fashion, it's turned into anything but a straightforward job.
And in today's video, I want to make sure I can get this engine mechanically sorted without having to sell my left kidney.
But before we even think about turning that key, we've got a bit of work to do. First up, a full engine service. And not just any service, this thing is 40,000 miles overdue. Yeah, that's not ideal. Then we've got some special bits to add to the engine, but I will reveal those later on. And finally, probably the biggest job of the lot, changing that water pump. That's been a major concern since we saw this car start to overheat, and fingers crossed replacing it will get us one step closer to sorting this engine out once and for all.
So straight away, got ordering a next day part from Flying Spares. Pretty good guys, they have a lot of parts for Bentleys. So water pump's here. We're gonna get the car taken inside, see how long it's gonna take to strip down this car to get the water pump fitted, because as I've said before, these engines aren't necessarily easy to work on. So let's get this car taken into the workshop.
Right, first things first, let's get the car up on the ramp so we can start stripping the front end down. Now, there's a lot of screws and nuts that need removing for this job, and that's because, like most engines like this, access is basically non-existent. You've got to take half the car apart just to get to one component. So we're starting by loosening the front wheel arch, then we'll get the under tray off. That's held in by a load of screws, which are also attached partially to the bumper. Now we've got that off, we can move on to the front bumper. All of the grills and trims have to come off first, which actually isn't too bad, just a few bolts holding them in. Once they're out of the way, we can finally get access to the rest of the bolts we need.
But maybe we can give him gloves and let him help me, no? Do you want the gloves? He will be holding for this bumper.
Yeah, I don't mind.
And if you want to see more builds just like this, hit that subscribe button right now.
No damage here really, is there? Radiators, everything's all fine, isn't it? Most of it's just the just cosmetic, yeah.
Next up, the crash bar. We're going to loosen up those bolts holding it in place, because once that's off, we've finally got access to the rad pack.
But we don't have access to this, even to the belt.
So just for that, all of this has to come off.
Move this, everything.
You heard him. Everything has got to be removed to get to the water pump. Now's a good time to drain whatever coolant is left in the system. I'm going to chuck in a bit of water for now, just to check for any more leaks before we go filling it up with the good stuff, because let's be honest, 19 litres of G13 coolant is not cheap, and I'm not looking to waste any of it. And finally, we'll undo a few more bolts and screws on the rad pack, just enough so we can wiggle it forward and get the space we need to finally remove that water pump.
Yeah, this is pump pulley. You'll see now when we open the pump, it will be leak. Could be thermostat on this way.
Yeah.
And it's blocking from the engine to the radiator.
We had to get the puller tool on there to stop the pulley spinning around. Just makes it a bit easier to crack off those bolts. Now that it's finally off, we've got proper access to the old water pump.
Was leaking.
Oh yeah. Lot of residue there.
Now this bit wasn't exactly smooth sailing. There were 4 bolts holding the pump in, and honestly it was chaos. Awkward angles, tight spaces, bolts that just didn't want to move. Proper nightmare. But we got there in the end, managed to crack the bolts off and even drained a bit more coolant while we were at it. Now it's time to get the new part fitted. I actually picked this up for about £130, which for a Bentley engine is basically the cheapest part available. Fitting it was way more straightforward than taking it off. Slotted the new pump in place, 4 bolts back in and tightened down. Pulley on, belt wrap round, and then we gave the pulley a final tighten, and that's the job done. Just a bit of housekeeping to do so we don't have any squeaks when we get this car running again.
So it's been a couple of days now since we got the water pump changed on the Bentley. I needed to get a couple of parts. We needed filters, air filters, and obviously we're going to flush out the coolant as well since we've done the water pump replacement, because I didn't want to put coolant in just in case we have any leaks still. However, I've also bought some spicy stuff that I'm going to put into the engine today, which potentially is going to help fix some of those issues, as we have had some further developments in the diagnosis with the big problems we've got with the Bentley, I'll say. So fingers crossed, in today's video, we're going to be able to fix and rectify all of those issues we have with this engine on the Bentley. So let's go back inside and see what's going on with this car.
First things first, car's back up on the ramp and we've got to get the under tray off again. Always fun.
We have got a bit of an oil leak going on over here, maybe coming from the rocker cover.
But I've got something a bit special today that might just sort this whole thing out.
Do you think today the stuff I'm going to put into this car is going to fix the smoke coming out of the exhaust? What do you think?
Maybe yes.
Maybe? Maybe.
Next up, we're cracking off the drain plug to finally see what 40,000 mile old engine oil looks like. And yeah, it's as grim as you'd imagine.
How's it look?
Oil.
Old oil?
Old oil.
Very thin, isn't it? 40,000 mile old oil.
But this is where it got even worse for me. Removing the oil filter is a simple job, but what isn't simple is understanding the state of this filter. I've never seen anything like it before.
It is very thin, isn't it?
Look at this oil.
What the hell, man?
Look at this filter.
Oh my god.
Very old.
Very old.
Very old.
40,000 miles old. This is what happens when you don't service a car in a long time. Any metal in there, or you think it's okay?
I don't think so.
It's okay.
But it's really low.
Serious. Have you ever seen a Bentley like this?
No.
Well, that's quite a sight, to be honest with you. I've never seen an oil filter as dirty as that and clogged up, especially on a car like this. Bentley, people not servicing cars on time? That's not what you'd expect on something like this, but world's full of surprises.
We gave the filter housing a proper clean up with some degreaser, got it all prepped, then slotted the new filter in. It's only held in with 1 bolt, so it's nice and easy.
What is it? Just really thin, old?
Very old, yeah, very old.
It looks really mucky, doesn't it? It almost looks like water.
Even the color is, I don't know.
It's not mixed with water or anything. This is just old oil.
No.
Now we're draining out the last of the water I put into the cooling system when we swapped out the water pump. And to be fair, no more leaks, so we're all good on that front.
So now we've got the oil drained out, coolant drained out, filter's been replaced, so We need to put some fresh oil in. We're going to put some 0W40, get the coolant topped up, which is G13, and then we'll get on to putting some of that spicy stuff in, which I'll tell you about very, very shortly. Fingers crossed, it's going to get the job done today.
New sump plug goes in, torqued up properly, and we can throw the under tray back on, tighten it up properly, because the last thing we want is that flying off at 200 miles per hour in a Bentley convertible. With the car back on the ground, it's finally time to give it what it's been crying out for, some fresh engine oil, 12.5 litres of the good stuff. I always check the dipstick once about 80% of the oil's gone in, just in case there's any old stuff still sitting in the sump.
What do you reckon?
And in my case, we still needed a bit more oil.
Yeah, still a little bit more. This thing just drinks and drinks and drinks, but I expect nothing less from 2 3-litre V6s bolted together. More oil going in as we speak. Just never ends on this car. G13 antifreeze, it is concentrate, so we do need to mix it. So I'm just going to put 5 litres in at a time, and then we'll mix it with distilled water.
Now, some people say to vacuum fill the coolant system, but because the expansion tank sits quite high on these, you can actually burp the airlocks out yourself. Just grab a big funnel and let it do the work. And while we're at it, let's get those old air filters out. They've also been sat in there since 2022, 40,000 miles ago.
How's this one looking? Oh, look, nice. Got a little wasp in there. This is dirty, isn't it? Very dirty. At least it's original though. Is it very, yeah, original Bentley?
Bentley original, but it's
2021.
no 18. The first this year.
Huh?
This year 18, month 02, date 21.
So hang on, this one was 2018, wasn't it, yeah? But do you remember when we checked the other one? It was 22.
Let's go and double check the date on the other air filter, because this can't be right.
All right, let's see. What's this one say? So this is 25.
And then 22.
So was that one 22 as well?
21.
That one's 21, 22. So they're only a year apart. So I think that's okay, yeah, because sometimes some get made in different batches. So, okay. For a second, I thought that only one side of the filters was changed, but I think we're okay. Regardless, they're still not been changed in 40,000 miles, so it's not good, but it didn't get any worse. These engine bays are so tight. Look at that, there's literally no space at all to do anything whatsoever. You can ignore all this mess. This is from when I was trying to bleed the coolant. We're getting the Hoover out and we're doing some housekeeping.
Hopefully these new filters don't have to cope with seeing another 40,000 miles. But I'll tell you one thing, they definitely are not cheap.
Do you know how much these filters were? About £70 each. Each. Yeah.
But you know this Mali,
Yeah.
it's because original is coming Mali, yeah?
Okay, so this is a Bentley part, but it's still manufactured by.
Yeah.
So same thing.
Same company.
Same company, yeah. So if you have got a Bentley, go for the cheaper option. It's still manufactured in the same place and it does the same job.
So for now, let's carry on with putting this car back together. And that's the service completed on the Bentley. Just one thing left to do.
All complete. So now it's time to put in some of that spicy stuff. So we've got these two goods over here. One is called Stop Smoke for oil and the other one is Stop Leak. Stop Smoke is here to reduce exhaust smoke and oil consumption and increases compression, because potentially one of the issues that we have on this Bentley is that the valve stem seals are letting oil seep through, which could be the cause of why this car is smoking. The other additive, which is Stop Leak, is there for the rubbers which are perishing. This car's been sat around for a long time, so if anything these are going to do it some good, and potentially if we can solve this issue with just chucking a little bit of these additives in, we're going to save ourselves quite a bit of cash. So let's get it put in. This one here is to do with the rocker cover leak. It just revitalizes all these rubbers and stuff, lubricates them again. And this one I think is proper thick stuff. Yeah. Honey. Maybe from that bee that we found in the air filter. Now it does say that the contents of this treats up to 6 litres of engine oil, but because I'm using 2 different variants, I've got stop leak and then obviously we've got stop smoke, I don't want to be putting too much into the engine. So one of these, one of those, and will it head more towards our story of thinking that we've got potentially valve stems leaking, or just generally there are some old rubbers perishing which are causing oil or something to go where it shouldn't. Let's see what's going to happen.
I mean, it's worth a shot. I've not got anything to lose, but there's so much to gain if this does fix the issue.
Yeah. I'm happy if you're happy. Now what we need to do is get the car taken outside, leave it to run for about an hour or so, give it some revs for obvious reasons because I can't yet drive it. We haven't got any MOT on the car and obviously the car's got damage. So we're gonna do that, give it an hour or so, let the car cool down completely, and then I'll come back and we're gonna see if the issue with this engine smoking has been rectified. And if that is the case, then we're gonna be onto a winner and we can get moving to get this car taken down to the body shop so we can actually get this car back on the road and make it the cheapest Bentley Continental GTC in the UK or even in the world. I'll say it. Fingers crossed. Let's get it taken outside and see what happens. So the time is 7 o'clock in the evening and we've had the car parked here since the engine's been turned off for about, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 hours now. So the car's had some time to cool down. Obviously I had it running up to temperature for about an hour or so, but let's just jump in now and see if this car is doing any better than what it has been over the past few weeks. So I'm expecting there will be quite a few dash lights on. Obviously the air suspension is a bit all over the place at the moment, but it needs a drive. It does sort of recalibrate itself. But that aside, let's get this engine turned on. Let's have a look and see. Do we have any smoke? It doesn't look like we've got any smoke whatsoever. Not even a single bit of smoke. Oh my God. Has it actually done it? Has it actually done it? Oh my God. There's definitely no smoke coming out of it, is there? Definitely. 100% there is zero smoke coming out of this exhaust, visibly that we can see.
Could it really be that it was some seals that were perishing from the car just being sat around for a long time? Or maybe we had a buildup of condensation? Either way, the car isn't smoking no more. The heater is blowing hot air and the car isn't overheating. So I think it's fair to say the Bentley engine is fixed.
I'm actually in shock, guys. I can't believe that the car's fixed. This has been a labour of love and a big stress, to be honest with you, because if I did have to strip this engine down and get that head gasket sorted, this would have been a very, very expensive job. But as it stands, have we just dodged a bullet? Well, it seems that way because it is not smoking at all. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you're enjoying this Bentley series so far. But next up, the bodywork. Hello.
Hi.
Vivi.
How you doing?
Long time, man.
Long time.
How you been? Where have you been?
Where have you been?
I've been around. I've been around.
So have I.
You look like you've been on holiday.
No, I've just grown a little bit of a beard.
Well, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. What brings you here today?
Oh, well, the Bentley.
Yes, the Bentley.
The Bentley.
Yeah.
The disastrous Bentley, shall I say?
What's the disaster about it? What's going on?
Well, everything's wrong with it at the moment, but the reason why I'm here is because the bodywork is in an absolute shambles. Maybe you want to have a look and you can tell me what you
Definitely, I think we need to have a look at it first.
think. Oh, let's go outside and let's check it out.
Let's have a look.
Come on. It's changed a lot, hasn't it, since before? This is all new.
We had a flood last year,
Oh.
so we were going to remodel anyway.
Okay.
So we wanted to showcase a little bit about the kind of colours and things like that,
Yeah.
which we didn't really do before. But the biggest thing is this: we are now a BSI approved body shop.
What does that mean?
So we have a British kite mark. So we have a certain standard that we have to accede to.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a really big step for us. It's
okay.
future-proofing ourselves for other stuff as well.
Nice, congratulations.
Which, thank you.
What are these wheels about? Wait, hang on.
Yeah, Bentley wheels. That's actually a standard Bentley colour,
Yeah.
which is their dark shadow chrome.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
But we can talk about colours.
Come on, let's see the car.
Let's have a look.
So, the biggest part of the issue, shall I say, with the Bentley is...
Wouldn't have to be that, would it?
Yeah. Just that little bit. No. Well, we've got what is it? Wing, headlight, and bumper.
Yeah, there's some other stuff in there as well, unfortunately, but that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, I've actually ordered one of these as well because I didn't realise it's till last minute, but I've got one on order, so it will be a little bit delayed, but I'll have it coming.
There should be an attachment on the back of it as well that allows the jets to come out,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
fine, that's not a problem.
Yeah,
So
doing.
what have you got so far?
I have got front bumper.
Front bumper.
I've actually gone for the GTC speed bumper.
Nice.
Because it's very hard to get hold of these bumpers actually. So managed to get a GTC bumper. I've got the headlight. Don't have a wing, but obviously if it's repairable, it would be, it'd be nice. But if it can't be repaired, I want it to look right. So it is a Bentley. It's not exactly a...
Exactly, it's a high-end car.
Yeah, it needs to be right.
With the wing,
Okay.
I strongly suggest replacing the wing. The reason being is the amount of effort that we can go into repairing that,
Yeah.
we'll get a very nice result,
Yeah.
but it'll still be a repair, and obviously that relates to cost as well, because the number of man hours that go into it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you got, these cars are getting on a bit now, even though they're special cars.
Yeah.
They are cars that have been broken, so we can probably find a wing. If you can't find one, we'll
Yeah.
source one from somewhere.
Okay,
we'll
brilliant.
put a genuine wing on it, and then it's bolt on, bolt off.
Yeah.
Before it goes to paint. So
Yeah.
that'd be a much easier fix, and we can concentrate on getting some other stuff done on the car maybe.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's got to be a genuine wing, to be honest with you, because
Absolutely.
I've heard, not with Bentleys, but in the past, if you sometimes go aftermarket,
The fitment's not quite right.
It's not quite right.
Well, to be honest with you, these cars have got a lot of finishing issues on them. Not issues, but they're actually very nice things when they come from factory.
Yeah.
But as a body shop, it becomes quite tricky to do because to replicate this finish.
Yeah.
As you can see down the side of it, there's no orange peel in the car. It's actually smooth.
Yeah, it's like
what
a piano.
It's piano black.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It's called a piano
okay.
finish. On the front end of these, they spend anything up to 80 hours hand finishing them at Bentley.
80 hours?
80 hours to finish them. So to get this beautiful piano finish, to get rid of all the marks and to get rid of any sort of ripple in the paint,
Yeah.
which is a natural occurrence when you paint a car, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how good a body shop you are,
Yeah.
there's always going to be orange peel.
Okay.
Every car here that we do, we always flatten polish every car
Yeah.
to make sure there's no contaminants in it and that the paint finish
To get like
matches.
the glass type of... Okay, yeah,
Absolutely. Or to get it to as close as factory as it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So if we were to paint the front end of this and not paint this door,
Yeah.
we don't leave orange peel on this panel when there is orange peel on this one.
I see.
In this particular case, there's no orange peel anywhere.
Yeah.
So you make sure that the rest of the panels are done exactly right.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at here, to be honest with you, is a full front end respray because the bumper, the wing, and on top of that, has to be blended in.
Yeah.
And there's some nasty marks on there.
Yeah.
So I would probably suggest going full front
I
end.
think this is actually from the coolant when it was... I was trying to burp the system, but,
And it's split out everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that should polish out, but we won't do that.
Okay.
It's too nice a car not to do the full front end, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So we can do the front end, maybe do some nice little finishing touches on there with the grills and whatnot, because we can bring these back up quite nicely as well.
And the grills I've got actually,
Yeah.
this is something I was going to ask you, on the GTC speed bumper, the grills come in, it's like a shadow chrome.
Yes.
Yeah, so so I know from factory they are
Slightly darker.
slightly darker.
It's like a
but
dark chrome, yeah.
I don't know, I thought I'd ask you if it's worth doing something matching or keeping them different. No.
That's entirely a matter of taste. The chromes look really nice.
Yeah.
But if you've gone for the speed bumper,
Yeah.
we could do that as well.
Okay.
Wouldn't be an issue because we could pop these out, prep them for paint,
Yeah.
acid etch primer them, and then do maybe a wheel colour on there, which is our dark chrome. It's a shadow chrome.
Okay, what's
And
that?
I'll show you that as well.
Dark chrome?
Yeah, dark chrome. So it's almost like a translucent colour.
Yeah.
So once we've done the primer in black,
Yeah.
we dust in this translucent colour that goes on top, which has a chrome effect to it,
Yeah.
but it's translucent, so you see through it and you see the black behind it.
Okay.
So it's chrome but black at the same time.
I see.
It's quite beautiful. What else is there to be done then? Because I noticed there's some damage on the back as well.
Yes, I was just going to say, it's not just that.
Yeah.
There is a little bit more. So
I noticed.
Yeah. Tell me, I don't know, I'm not a body guy, but this looks repairable, for sure.
Yeah.
It's plastic, right? Maybe this, I don't know, you can tell me, but I think...
Sure, well, there's a small split there. that we can plastic weld that.
Yeah, okay.
The shape of it itself is it's actually been pushed in slightly.
Yeah.
Once we get the bumper off, we'll have a look to see what kind of damage is done behind it, any damage that needs to be done. Because
Yeah.
even though that's not cosmetic, it has to be done correctly for safety purposes more than anything else.
Okay.
And fitment.
Yeah.
Because if you look on these cars, because they're such high-end cars, the shot gaps on them are very, very tight. It's almost like the quarter and the bumper are one piece.
Yeah.
So on that line there, you have to make sure that that is actually as tight as we can
It's
get.
got to
it.
be bang on.
And that's all to do with what's underneath.
Okay.
As you can see, there's a slight distortion in the quarter as well.
Yeah.
But we'll repair that. That's not a problem.
So that
And
can just be pulled out?
there's a bit more than just pulling it out. We have special tools to do with that called dent pullers and line pullers. So basically, we take this down, we weld some straps onto that, and we pull it back out. But I can show
okay,
you that
I see.
process when we go inside.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, but the bumper repair,
Yeah.
shouldn't be a problem. Looks like it's been repaired once before because it's got some filler damage there, as you
Okay.
can see. So from the compression over here,
Yeah.
it's cracked open the filler from before.
I always say this as well, with paint, you can't rush it.
You can't.
It's got to be done right.
Exactly.
And I was literally having this conversation with someone the other day, talking about wheels. And
Yeah.
they said they got their wheels done in literally 24 hours. You know, they dropped it off in the afternoon, picked it up the next day. I goes,
How good could it possibly
yeah,
be?
because it's a process, right? You have to let like the paint cure or primer set, all these things. So
The thing is with us, when it comes to the wheel side of things, we've always been that kind of comprehensive. We don't do smart repairs, we don't do face paints or anything
Yeah.
like that. We've just invested a huge amount of money in a whole new chemical stripping process as well, which is
Okay.
environmentally friendly and safe to our workers as well.
Yeah.
That whole process, just the first part of it takes better part of a day,
Yeah.
even before you've touched the wheel to prep it and paint it
Yeah.
and put it back on the car.
Yeah.
So that's why we always budget that 3 days. We endeavour to do it in 2, but we'll always ask our customers to do it in 3, as you've always had.
Yeah.
And we don't tend not to overrun unless there's some other
and
repairs.
genuinely, you know, this isn't me, you know, like trying to really, you know, like big you up. I've always said when it comes to wheels, I only will bring my wheels here.
I know you always have.
You've done my split wheels for me.
Yes.
You've done regular wheels, like, and it's always like, can't knock
Good.
it. Can't knock it.
Excellent. That's what
Yeah.
we like to hear.
Yeah.
I think our customers like yourselves that appreciated our quality of work on our alloys,
Yeah.
we've got to a point now where we transferred those skill sets onto our body shop
Yeah.
in terms of quality and service and customer service
Yeah.
and all that kind of good stuff. So what we strive to give a really, really good quality product under a BSI banner, because it means that we have to accede to something for ourselves
Yeah.
as well as to our customer, and to do it in a reasonable price. So we're not charging you the earth for bodywork, but we're definitely competitive, but
Yeah.
we're not the cheapest in the world. You know, you buy
You
cheap,
get what you pay.
twice.
You
Yeah.
get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to things like, you know, maintenance or repairs, or especially paintwork on a car.
Well, paintwork is one of those things. It's like you said
Yeah.
ages ago, it's hit and miss. You know,
Yeah.
you can go to a body shop today and it'd be really good, and go back to them 6 months later and it might not be as good.
Yeah.
But we try not to do that. We try to keep a consistent level of quality.
That's the way it's got to be done. That's the only way. You know, I've always wanted one of these, and yes, it's turned out to be a bit of a
handful.
A handful, shall I say? But it's still a Bentley. It still, you know, runs and drives.
And it's a Mulliner.
It's a Mulliner spec. Yeah, it's a nice spec car.
It's a Mulliner. Okay. In terms of what I would like to do to it,
Yeah.
normally I do this the other way around.
Okay.
I'll ask my customer what they want as a wish list, and then I'll try and give them as much as I can in the budget.
Yeah.
But this is what I would like to do to this car.
Okay.
First of all, the obvious stuff, the repairs. That rear quarter, the rear bumper.
Yeah.
Blends as required. The front end, so replace the wing, paint the bonnet, the other side wing, the front bumper,
Yeah.
do the grills, make it look pretty. Once that's done, I would suggest very strongly, just to tie it in all together, is to do a single stage correction and ceramic coating.
Yep.
And then I would go down, and that's on the bodywork side of it.
Okay.
Then I would go onto the wheels.
Okay,
You've
yeah.
got the speed wheels here.
Yeah.
They're not in the best of shape because you see these black little dots?
Yeah.
They're basically heat burns. So it's brake dust that's been stuck on the wheel for a long time and not cleaned.
Okay.
And the wheel heating and cooling and contracting and expanding has burnt into the lacquer. So we refresh those.
Do you think it's worth me, obviously, keeping them silver, or obviously I'm toying with the idea of changing them because I know it's not the original colour of a speed wheel,
The speed wheels are grey.
but that you did say chrome. I know it might not be to everyone's taste, but do you know what? I think if I'm going to go chrome, could be the car to do it.
On this one, you know what? I'm going to take you inside and then you'll be surprised.
All right. Okay. All
Okay?
right. Yeah.
That's
Let's
what
check
I
it out.
suggest.
We'll check it out. All right.
Yeah. Here's what I suggest that we do. Your calipers.
Yeah.
Right? What looks really beautiful on these, especially being a black car,
Yeah.
is we go for a Rosso red caliper.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is something that we do here.
Yeah.
Right? And the anti-clatter plate on the inside.
Yeah.
You see what's embossed with Bentley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I've never even noticed that because it's
Yeah.
so quite a bland sort of grey factory colour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bland and it's grimy.
Yeah, I've never
But
even
once
noticed
once that red on the main caliper is there and on the carrier,
Yeah.
it'll pop through that beautiful wheel.
Yeah.
And then what we'll do is on the Bentley, on the embossing,
Yeah.
we'll do that in black.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the whole wheel will tie together.
Yeah. If you, while I've got you here, I just want to show you because you did mention you obviously do detailing as well.
We do.
The interior. Now, before you look at it, This is not how I drive my cars, by the way. I
know
like having,
that. I've seen
I
your
like
cars
clean
before.
interiors, but obvious reasons, the car's going to mechanics, coming to get repairs done. I don't want to do it just yet, but is there anything that can be done with this?
Of course, anything's possible.
The
I
thing
see what
is,
you mean.
it's a really nice interior.
It looks a bit mouldy on the back seat, doesn't it?
It's mouldy, it's a bit almost rusty. Like,
Rusty leather.
yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, H, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
We've seen much worse interiors.
Okay.
And you'd be surprised what can actually be achieved with a little bit of elbow grease and
Yeah.
some patience.
Thing is, I think for me on this car is because it is like a Mulliner spec and it's, you know, cream interior, soft top comes down. It's that type of car.
Then the inside of the car's exposed.
Even still, you know, like the steering wheel, it's got wear and tear around it.
Well, wear and tear is wear and tear. You
Yeah.
know, we're talking about a certain age of car.
Yeah.
And it is a very difficult colour to keep.
Yeah.
Because as you can see on these, Bentleys are prone to this, is having these indents here.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That is from this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if the seatbelt hasn't been retracted fully,
Yeah.
it tends to sit there like that, and then you'll put this very heavy door in, and this is where you get these
I
indents.
see. And it's obviously very soft leather, isn't
It's
it?
very soft leather because
Yeah.
this is all Connolly in here.
Okay.
Especially on the Mulliner spec, it's even finer grain. But you'd be surprised how beautiful these come up.
Okay.
The steering wheel, for instance, now we can bring this back up to a really, really lovely spec with some special treatments that we do on there.
Okay.
But obviously the wearing will still be there.
Yeah. How about things like this where the colours...
go.
The colours is... Okay.
Yeah, that will all go back to the ivory.
That was my biggest worry because I know with lighter interiors it is sometimes more difficult to bring
Definitely,
them up. Yeah.
definitely is difficult to bring up. But then once you've got it to a standard,
Yeah.
it does look divine.
Okay.
It looks really, really good. What I like to do on these is on the woodwork.
Yeah.
I have a little nano machine,
Okay.
so I can actually polish these up like I would be doing a paint correction on the
No
outside.
way.
Yeah. So it takes all the fine swells and
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
And then on an evening time, especially around dusk,
Yeah.
got the top down, everything will gleam.
This is what I'm looking most, excited about. It's not just the exterior. You know, obviously you spend most of your time being sat in the car.
You do.
And intentionally, this is why I don't really, get the interior done until the car's ready.
Of course.
Because it's like the final touch. It's the final piece of the puzzle.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
As clean as a workshop that we try to keep.
Yeah.
When you've got guys jumping in and out of them, moving them around into booths and doing prep work and windows open and things like that.
Yeah.
The first thing that we do is we bag all of our cars, we put the windows up so dust doesn't go in, but
Yeah.
it still manages to creep its way in because it's so
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But if we were going to do an interior on it as well, I would suggest doing it right at the end once the bodywork is done.
Okay. All right.
Which, guess what? I'm going to give to you as a gift.
No, if you can't, man.
I'm going to.
If you can't do
No,
that.
no, you've been a friend of 360 for a long, long time. You've given us the opportunity to do this with you today as well, so I would like to do that for you.
Iffy.
Okay?
Top man.
No
Thank
problem
you so
at all.
much.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Let's go and have a look at some wheels.
That's nice.
An M5 competition.
That's like the
It's a forged carbon
forged
fibre.
carbon. Yeah, that's it.
It's all real forged carbon fibre as well. The
Yeah.
only thing that's been done is a PPF wrap in
Yeah.
forged carbon fibre to make the rest of it match.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, so this is all the body shop now. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
In fact, the colour that I wanted to show you
Yeah.
for your wheels are
Yeah.
on this car here. What do you think of that?
So this is paint.
That's paint.
Chrome.
Yeah, powder chrome. It's cool, right?
Man, that looks so nice.
The funny thing is, on the Bentleys,
Yeah.
used to get a polished wheel, which was a very similar finish to this, but they're really difficult to refurbish. We can polish them, but
Yeah.
it's quite time-consuming and expensive. So what we do is we do all four wheels on this, and it's much more maintainable.
So this is just normal paint or powder coat?
It's
What-
powder coat. It's powder coat.
I can't believe that. Honestly, guys, I can't believe this.
That was really cool, isn't it?
That will look so nice on the Bentley.
The thing is, this workshop light is actually not really that flattering to it. When you take it out in the
but
daylight,
you
it
can
looks
tell
amazing.
in the sunlight. When the sun hits that will
Yeah.
really pop. You know what? It might not be for everyone's taste on the Bentley.
No, it's not. But you know what? It has to be to taste to my wife, because this is actually my wife's new car.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's another Copart special.
This isn't the same Tesla, is it?
It's the same one.
I was here a few weeks ago.
Yes, that's right. This is
The one where the doors were dented.
All done. All the front end's
No.
done. Just we're doing a little bit more wiring work to it, and the new bumper's going on.
The whole front end was...
It's all gone, yeah. So as you can see, we've repaired it.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I genuinely can't believe that's the same car.
That's the same car.
The whole front end was gone. The doors were...
As you can see, these little dots here. This is where we've just denibbed it, so you can see that's the car that we've painted.
Okay.
And the finish that you see on that door, that's
Yeah.
far from finished, because we still have to flatten, polish it, and everything
Yeah.
else yet.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're doing things like, all the arches.
Yeah.
Instead of being the texturized black, they're
Yeah.
all going gloss black to match the car.
Okay.
And we've done the wheels powder chrome to match all the chrome work on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the same car that you saw a few weeks ago.
No, I honestly can't believe that.
And this is something that we've worked on very slowly because it's one of our own cars. In fact, we're kind of starting to like these Copart Teslas.
Yeah.
We've got another one.
No.
Yeah. But the cool thing about this one is,
Yeah.
Cool thing about this one is this one's a performance one.
No way. Is it ludicrous?
Yeah.
No way.
1,050 brake horsepower.
These are the ones which are quicker than like an Aventador, aren't they?
As quick as, yeah.
No way. So what's wrong with this one? Damage.
Same. We believe this one on the bodywork is not so bad, but we think there's more underneath damage.
Oh, okay, I see. So what do you think? It just like crashed off road and just got some undercarriage damage?
It's only arrived a couple of days ago, so we don't 100% know yet. But
okay. This is ready by the time that Bentley's done. I want to go for a spin in this.
Absolutely no problem. No problem at all.
I've seen them race these supercars, man.
They're supposed to pull your faces back.
Yeah. Man, that's so cool.
I've driven one ludicrous car.
Yeah.
And in the States, and they are ludicrous. They are insane.
Well, that's the word for it. That's it. Yeah, ludicrous. No, that's awesome, man.
By the way, H, I wanted to show you something.
Okay. Yeah.
Something new and improved.
All right. Where are we going?
We're going into the paint room, but this is really, really cool. Come and have a look. Do you know what that is?
I'm assuming that is something to do with mixing paint.
It is. The old-fashioned way was like this.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a new scheme.
Wow.
It's called Moonwalk.
Okay.
By PPG, and this is the Max Meyer version of it.
Yeah.
That's the PPG stuff over there.
Okay.
So you can see the kind of quality of stuff that we use that we're going to use on the Bentley.
Yeah. So there's different levels of paint.
Absolutely.
Paint's not paint. It's just
paint's not paint. Paint's not paint. Far from it. Every car that we do here, as a matter of process, we'll do an ECU scan of it to see if there are any faults on the car as it comes in. Yours will be one of those as well.
Okay.
We'll keep that on file.
Yeah.
And the first thing the car does, we do on the bodywork, is we'll polish a clean patch of the car and we'll scan it straight away with this microspectrometer.
Okay.
Then that gets plugged in over here.
Yeah.
And then the computer works out what the closest code is. Now, that's quite common in body shops.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this is fully automated.
Right.
So it's a computer mixing your paint as opposed to a human being manually on a scale.
So there's no room for any human error?
No, there's no.
It's always 100%.
So on this computer, you can actually do spray out cards of your car. So it'll be your black.
Yeah.
From the scan, from that, and what it suggests, and it has a different point of light on it, and you can actually move it around.
Okay.
And compare the spray out cards. Yeah. So we'll actually show you that once we sound the car. Okay. We'll show you some of that.
Yeah, let's do it.
On there, so you can have a look at it and see what the closest colour is.
I guess then you always gonna have a 100%, near enough colour match.
Technically speaking, the idea of this is that you do what is known as an edge to edge, so you don't have to blend.
Oh, okay.
But we don't do that. We still blend cars nonetheless.
Okay,
Because it's the right way to do it. Okay. But yeah, gives you an idea of what we can do now. Like this thing.
Yeah.
Cost us about 35 grand just to get colours exactly right.
Just that machine?
Just the machine. Okay. Then something like that.
Yeah.
How much would you say that is?
2 litres off. This is just paint, right?
It's just paint. It's a tinter. So it's the colours that go into making a paint.
50 quid?
50 quid? 100 quid?
It wouldn't be more than 100 quid.
Talk about 500.
No.
Yeah.
500 quid?
Some of these are even more expensive. And those are the same pots, but on here. So this is what goes into this machine here, like so. And then the colour scheme's made up and scans in there.
Yeah.
But each of these 500 quid bottles is not one, there's probably 4 or 5 on every mix.
Wow. So paint, it's definitely not like household, but paint's really, there is a cost behind it.
There's a huge cost on it.
500 quid for 2 litres.
Yeah.
Can't believe
and we get through it at a rate of knots. And it has a lifespan, a shelf life as well. But yeah.
But you know what, that's really interesting.
That's neat, isn't it?
That is definitely
You've got to see it working as well, because this actually is automated. It moves backwards and forwards.
Oh, okay.
So it scans all the bottles that you put on there.
Yeah.
And then that way, if you ever come back with the Bentley, God forbid if you were to damage it again, then we just mix up the same paint again because it's stored in there, and it'll come out exactly the same again.
Okay, I got
so you won't have to.
And I guess the other good thing is, to be honest, is if paint costs that much money, you'd rather it's done via a computer with no human error, because I wouldn't want to waste any, even a milliliter of that, to be honest with you.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. I really like the setup.
I'll show you something else. Come. Do you remember that?
I love those wheels. They're honestly so nice. The more I look at them, I can't wait for them to be on
See
the
that on that light? It looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah. I genuinely thinking, like, shall I do this not just to the Bentley? Shall I find another car of mine? Maybe that special car I told you about, which I've ordered, which I haven't told these guys yet. Might have to do something like that.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We can surprise them with it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
So you know that dent on your quarter?
Yes, on the rear quarter, yeah.
This is the machine that we would use to straighten it all out.
So what is this?
This is so it's basically a dent puller.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more technical than that. So you weld stuff onto it.
Yeah.
and then you use the tools that go with it, and on that machine over there, to pull it back out.
I see.
But what we'll do when we're doing it, we'll give you a shout. Come in and have a look.
Yeah, no, I'd love to.
This, as you can see, it's brand new. It's like top of the line stuff. It's GYS stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see it. Well, I want to be here as much as possible, to be honest, when the work's getting done.
You know you're always welcome.
I actually genuinely want to see the
We
level of work.
encourage all of our customers to come and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't, we don't encourage them to come and stand and watch over the guys working.
Yeah, of course.
But, come and have a look at your car. We don't have a problem with that. We're friendly like that.
Yeah, no, of
We
course.
like guys to come in and see what's going on. Especially girls. Ladies tend to be a little bit sort of apprehensive about coming into workshops. We say, come and have a look. They seem to quite enjoy it once they get in here.
Well, I would bring my missus with me, but I'm scared she might end up costing me a bit of money on getting chrome wheels as well on her car as well. So maybe we'll keep the women away for now.
That's entirely up to you, but she's more than welcome. H, this is where we're going to paint your car. Yeah, so it's a Rowley, yeah. It's a good bit of kit, but as you can see, what's different to most places, ours is outside. It's what is known as a backdraft system.
Okay.
But the filters are at the back there.
Yeah.
And you spray just like a normal spray booth. It just happens to be outside.
Oh,
and it happens to have an old man in it.
Sorry, we're intruding.
You're not intruding. He doesn't mind. Andy's over here. He's a master painter. Been doing it how many years now? So 2 or 3 years? 41 years. 41 years.
41 years in painting.
Yep.
Wow. Andy, so will you be the guy that's going to be painting the Bentley for me? You'll be. Good luck. Good luck. I like this setup. It really has changed a lot, honestly. I know I've said it a few times now,
10 years,
but over the 10-year period.
Well, you see, this thing here, this is now purely for alloys, and we've so run out of space.
Yeah.
So we're looking to expand, and hopefully get a new site within the next couple of months. Most of the wheels operation are going to be working from there, and this is going to be more body shop.
Okay.
So some of the paint will still happen. The paint will still happen here, but everything else is going to go.
Okay.
Do you remember that machine that I showed you before, years ago, for the diamond cutting?
Yeah.
The CNC lathe. Well, we've had that 10 years now, so we've just bought a new one. We've bought all new blasters, we've bought a new strip technology. The only thing that's staying are the tyre machines, really, and those are pretty much up to date. But all of that CNC lathe machine, that's all going to be replaced with a quite a small footprint machine that does some really cool functionality. So what you asked earlier today was about if all wheels can be diamond cut, and I said there's a limitation to a profile of a wheel. For instance, these wheels here, if you would say to you, could you cut them? I'd say yes, even though they're not a diamond cut wheel. We can still create a plot on that and cut up to there. So you could change the design of that. Same with these old-fashioned Merc wheels. You could technically cut those. You could cut the face of it, you could cut the little prongs, you could cut the lip and the prong, or you can cut the whole lot. Because it's in 3 sections. You've got one, 2, and 3.
I've got a set of these.
Everyone's got a section in their garage somewhere. This all technology is going to be replaced and upgraded now. Though it's doing a fantastic job, we're trying to make ourselves better and more efficient and give a better quality to our customer.
The standards that I've always had with you guys has always been very exceptional, but I guess you always want to keep innovating, right?
You have to keep innovating. You've got to stay on the front line, otherwise you just stagnate, you become old, you know. On top of that, machines wear out. Just like people, look at me. The machines wear out and then they need to be replaced. So before it gets to that point, so all the water wash system and everything that's out there, that's all being renewed as well. So our little prep room here, you see our 2 shot blasters over there. One's going through a refurbishment at the moment anyway, but we're replacing both of those with one small unit that's completely automated. So we won't need a guy standing there doing that anymore. He'll be able to prep his wheels,
fully automated.
Fully automated.
Wow.
And does a better finish as well, because it's not driven by air. There's no compressed air involved. It's just a movement of a machine.
More efficient as well, I guess, for time.
And environmentally friendly as well.
Good stuff, man. Iffy, I'm going to give you this.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to give you a handshake and wish you all the best with fixing my Bentley. I'm sure if anyone can do it, you guys got it in the back.
Don't worry, it's going to come out great. You wait and see. And that little gift I've given to you, it's on me. I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it, bro.
No problem.
Take care,
Have a great day.
So first things first, we need to drop off some parts to the body shop. I've got a bumper, grills and the front headlight. But now let's go find Iffy and find out the plan.
Iffy.
Hey.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good, how are you?
All good? Yeah, good, thanks, man.
Busy.
It looks it.
No, this is actually a lot quieter because we've taken stuff out. We're having a bit of a revamp of the workshop. Trying to organise stuff and try to make things prettier again.
It's bank holiday, man. It's bank holiday.
Guys are all in this weekend. Come and see this. We've managed to source the wing now. We've got that. When we strip it down today, we'll see if we need the support brackets and all that kind of stuff, whatever other gubbins behind it needs to be done. Looking at it, it's fairly superficial, so we should be okay. We should be. Did you make a decision on that?
I'm still umming and ahhing, but I do think we'll match them to obviously the lower grills. I'm going to leave it with you. I'd like the black chrome.
Don't do that.
I like the black chrome, which is on the grills that I've got here. However, the wheels are going to be...
Yes, it's going to be the chrome.
Chrome?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. If you're 100% on that, the powder chrome that you like so much...
Should we just do that?
Then keep the chrome.
Okay,
So we'll rejuvenate them and renovate them.
Okay.
Then on the quarter, Matt's having a look at this today.
Yeah.
We're going to start on that. We put the car on trickle charge because the batteries notoriously drain on these.
Yeah, very important.
So we've got that on trickle charge, and it hasn't come off trickle charge since it's been here, really.
Yeah, that's the last thing I want with this car, because when I bought it, I did have a few little issues with the battery. The roof actually wasn't working for that reason, but
The roof's
thankfully...
the least of your issues. The big issue is the rear handbrake.
Oh, really?
Because they're electrics. Once the battery goes, you can't get the handbrake off, and even when the battery charges again, it stays on.
Okay, so we'll keep that on.
So we'll keep it on. We just don't want that headache. In fact, the handbrake is off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the quarter, Matt's going to strip this down today, and hopefully we're going to have a see and see what we can find behind there.
Yeah.
If there's any sort of horrible gremlins back there, we'll give you a shout and let you know. And then during the repair work as well, I'll be touching base with you to show you exactly what it is with you, because I know that you were kind of interested in that, weren't you? So we'll show you what we do, and we'll get rid of all this horrible damage and make this beautiful thing beautiful again.
What about the wheels? When are we going to start? Because that's something I do want to see as well.
The thing is, the wheels, my plan was to do bodywork comprehensively first. Let's get the bodywork out of the way, because that's the dusty, horrible, dirty part.
Yeah.
As you can see, even in here now, even though we bag stuff up, we've still got dust on the car. We try to keep windows closed and stuff so dust doesn't go inside.
Yeah.
So what I was going to do was do the bodywork first, get my boys 100% on that, make sure it's all flat and polished, because that can get quite messy as well.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to do its comprehensive clean, which is the underbody, the wheel arches, the engine bay, boot shots.
Underbody as well?
All of that's all going to be done, yeah.
All right.
Told you I'm going to take care of it.
It's a proper job on this one, yeah. I appreciate that.
Once that's all done, after the flat and polish and the exterior sorted, at that point, then I'm going to go and start on the interior, which I've made a decision on now. I'm going to do a full strip down, so it's going to be seats out, everything.
Seats out?
Yeah, because the carpet's a light colour as well, so I want to make sure that it comes out really, really nice.
Yeah. This is the bumper, obviously, I bought. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've had a look at it.
Yeah, it is off a crash-damaged car, funny enough. So.
It looks okay. It looks fine. I've had a look at the inside of it. We put it on the rack.
Yeah.
There's no major cracks or anything like that. There has been one repair on it done before.
Yes,
But other than that, it looks okay.
Okay, yeah.
But the repair looks to be done quite well.
Good.
And if there are any issues with it, we plastic mould here as well, so we'll sort
Because they're very hard to get hold of, these bumpers. I had to go all the way to Liverpool to actually pick this one
You're
up.
lucky to get this one.
Yeah.
Especially the speed bumper.
Yeah.
They're a nice bumper.
Yeah.
It's really going to sort of freshen this up. But yeah, this is its home now for the next few weeks.
Yep.
Just leave it with us, and hopefully we should have this looking gorgeous again very, very soon.
Thanks, man. Take care. See you later.
Now Matt is going to strip down this Bentley, starting with the rear end. We need to remove the rear bumper and both rear lamps from the car so we can start repairing that rear quarter and the bumper. So lots of screws to loosen and plenty of electrical connections to disconnect to get these removed off the car safely. Now moving on to the front. The car gets jacked up as this will allow us more room to work with, especially when removing that front wing. To start with, Matt is going to remove the bolts and screws holding the bumper on. Now he can move on to the wheel arch liner, which needs to be removed as this will allow us access to the last few bolts holding the wing in place. The bonnet, that does have a mind of its own, so I may need to address those gas struts at some point too. And that's the car stripped, ready to start with the repairs and get on with the prep. Cheers, Matt. The lads have been making good progress with the rear bumper already being repaired and getting prepped up. It wasn't easy as there were some patchy repairs from before, but now it's been done proper. Now moving on to the front, starting with masking off parts for protection and sanding down the panels which are to be painted, the grille surround, bonnet and wings to begin with. The rear quarter is now being repaired and already looking much better. The headlight hasn't been removed just yet, and you'll find out later why that is, because it was a little bit of a shock. But overall, prepping is going well, repairs are being carried out, and a few more scuffs have been noted, which has given us a bit of a problem. Or maybe a blessing in disguise. Now it's time to get the car in the paint booth and start masking off the car ready for paint. Everything has to be done to perfection to give us the best possible result. And speaking of best results, you can now see this has turned out to be a little bit more than just a few panels. A near enough full-on respray is happening, but it deserves it. It's got to be done right.
Alright, let's go find my man Iffy.
Hey!
Iffy, is this safe to come in?
It's safe to come in, come in. How you doing, bro?
Oh my god, how you doing?
I'm good.
Oh my god, man.
That wasn't what you were expecting, was it?
The whole car? I thought we were just painting a few panels, Iffy.
It kind of grew, as it always does on a resto project. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
The thing is, we left out certain bits of it that kind of needed to be done. Like, for instance, we saw a little scuff over here on this side as well, so we thought, well, let's just do the quarter, do it right, because the rest of the car's going to look so fresh.
Oh, okay.
So we've repaired that as well.
That wasn't something before.
No, that wasn't something we discussed, but it was quite pronounced, so we didn't want to leave that.
Yeah.
Which meant that we had to go into the passenger door as well.
Literally, the whole car's been painted.
Yes.
Near enough.
Bar a couple of bits.
Yeah.
First of all, we didn't do the A-pillars.
Okay.
Because, one, they're absolutely spot on, they're perfect.
Yeah.
The other thing is taking windscreens out on this is a notoriously difficult job.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'll avoid that.
If there's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And also, we didn't do the boot lid as well.
Okay.
Again, because it's unmarked, it would have been just a lot of work for not a massive amount of benefit.
No, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
That's it. Everything else needs fixing.
You didn't even know, you didn't even point that out, but there you go. That's the repair done.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's all nice and straight and true
You know
now.
I missed it. I was in Paris, broken down in my Range Rover. Otherwise, I would have been able to. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have loved to have seen this, but.
Never mind. On the next one, you'll see.
On the next one.
But everything's prepped. I'm just having a quick look, making sure everything's cool before it goes to colour today.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to stick around, you can watch. You can watch Andy do that.
Yeah. No, I'd love to. This is a big job, isn't it? This is a big job.
For us, it's quite normal for us.
Yeah.
The good thing about this kind of car, there's not huge amounts of accident damage, which is what we get on a regular basis anyway.
Yeah.
And the accident damage, even if it's minor, is a lot of work involved. Like, that repair probably took as long as preparing the rest of the car, you know?
So am I right in saying wherever there's primer, there's been some sort of repair?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a better way of doing it.
It's slightly, nerve-wracking seeing.
Yeah. When you pick it up, God willing, it's going to blow your mind how nice it's going to look.
But this is the most scary form, seeing your Bentley in this sort of state at the moment. But like I said, I know it's in right hands, so it calms me down.
It's in right hands. It's in right hands. But even professionals have difficulties.
Yeah.
Like your headlight, for instance.
Yeah, the lads were telling me about this.
Yeah, it's. I always knew they were tricky, but we haven't been in a position before on a Conti to have to take the headlight out.
Yeah.
We've worked around it before, like case in point. But this one being broken, we have to replace it. It's a nightmare because these are so compact.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why they're so expensive to work on.
What about the wing and the bumper? Obviously, are they going to be?
They're going to get painted separately. We don't need to do blends because we're painting the whole bonnet, the whole side. Makes no difference anymore. So we can paint them at the same time, but just in a different location. So the wing and the bumpers will come in on trestles, like your fuel caps on the rear boot.
I saw that. Yeah, I just noticed that. I thought it was a little spoiler.
It's a new design. Yeah. It's a 360 special spoiler.
Looks really good. I think next thing is to we'll go inside and get some paint mixed up.
Let's go do it. Yeah. Come on, let's go. You like this way.
Now the guys are showing me my paint code on a virtual sample. The cool thing is you can view it in different light settings to make sure the match is as close as possible before you get mixing with the paints. Then we need to line up all the required paints in a particular order to the moonwalk, and Andy will explain later how this all works. But you can see on the screen exactly what goes into making this specific colour for the Bentley.
It'll scan all the colours and make sure they're all in place.
Right.
It'll go green on there, it's all there.
So are these all the colours? Oh, okay.
To make the colour for the product, yeah. So it'll scan them first and tell me they're all in the right order.
Okay.
Which is this part, scanning all the paints and literally moonwalking across, making sure the correct ingredients are in place. No human errors over here.
What it'll follow that's all the ingredients, it'll follow it now and make it as it goes along. Yeah, that's it now, don't touch it at all unless it comes up with issues, it should make it.
Now we can just sit back and relax and let technology take over for this part. I mean, come on, this is pretty cool. With the moonwalk finishing, we got the auto dispense complete, which means we are done mixing. And these figures here give us a clear readout for total grams of paint added, as well as giving us a green OK for accuracy, meaning that we will have the best possible colour match to any existing panels. And with that in mind, it's time to get painting. But just before we start spraying, Andy has a final few things to get done, starting with going around the car with this high pressure air line to help remove any bits of dust or unwanted goods sitting on the paintwork. Once that's done, we can apply some degreaser across the whole car using two cloths, one to wipe on and one to wipe off. This just helps remove any contaminants such as oil, silicone or even fingerprints that may be on the paintwork and could result in problems once paint is applied, so this is vital. Finally, Andy can go over the car with a tack cloth and again with the air gun. This is basically a sticky material which picks up microscopic dust, sanding residue or anything that is still sitting on the panels. Without doing this, we risk having imperfections in the paintwork which would ruin the piano finish that we are looking for. And as I've said many times, everything has to be done right.
Start spraying now, alright?
Oh, I'll leave you to it, man, yeah? See you then. All right, the boss said the paint is done and I can go inside and check it out, so you don't have to tell me twice. Oh my God. Wow, look at that.
You know the finish is exceptional when the painter is even sending the big boss these videos.
I mean, just in the space of a few hours, what an absolute epic change we've had to this car. I actually don't know what to say. Even this front end, I know we've got tape all over it, but that murdered out look actually looks pretty cool. And Andy, you have done a fantastic job. Look at that. There's so much gloss in that paint, and this is just straight off the gun. This hasn't even been polished, flattened, straight out the spray gun. Man, this is looking epic. I cannot believe we are so close to getting this car back on the road. Oh, honestly. And when I say that the paintwork on this car is looking fantastic, look at the reflection, straight out of the gun without even being polished. But a massive shout out to all the guys here at 360 Alloys in Reading who've worked on this car to bring it to where it is right now. Honestly, I'm so happy with this. Just look at that shine. Wow. It's really all coming together now. Honestly, I'm so impressed with the work and the amount of gloss that we are getting from the paintwork just straight out of the gun. It's a difficult thing to do right, a lot of skill, which takes time. And the guy who painted this car, Andy, I think he's been painting for 40 years or so. And it really shows with this car. I mean, just look at it. It looks absolutely fantastic. However, we've still got a few things we need to get done to this car. The wheels need to get done. Car's got to be fitted back together. Of course, the bumper and the wing need to get painted as well. Calipers are also going to get done. And how can I forget the major strip down we are doing to the interior on this Bentley. The once upon a time £150,000 car this once was. We're going to bring this back to showroom condition.
A car is usually the second biggest purchase you'll ever make in your life. For some of us, it's more than just a piece of metal that gets us from A to B. It becomes a part of our life. It's our comfort, our safe space, and it even is an extension of who we are. But when that space is invaded, it can never feel the same ever again. This is a video I never thought I'd ever be filming. But here is the story of how my Bentley Continental was stolen.
Calls for car manufacturers to improve the security of their vehicles as claims for car thefts in the UK reach a 7-year high.
Last year, around 355 vehicles were stolen every day in England and Wales.
Know how we have fun, boy.
Range Rover's gone. Boo, what another one, man?
But most of these thefts are unsolved by the police.
My RS6 has been stolen. It's £85,000 has been taken away from me.
So hi guys, it's H. You've obviously seen the title of the video, which is why you've clicked on. This is a story which I didn't think I was actually going to be sharing. Until now, only my close friends and family knew exactly what happened. Considering the state of the UK at the moment and the fact that car crime has just got out of control over the last few years, I thought it would be important to address exactly what happened to me in this situation. So let's take it right back. I've always been into cars, and I've been lucky enough to own some of my dream cars over the years. Whether it's been an Audi R8 or even a £400 Range Rover, I've always gone after the cars that I wanted to experience. That passion is what got me into the car trade as a teenager, and eventually it helped me make that scary jump into the world of YouTube. And honestly, things were going great. The content was so fun, helping you guys get into the business was really rewarding, and the crazy challenges along the way, like driving the cheapest Range Rover in the world to Paris, those were some of the highlights, all for the same reason, to make fun and genuine content for all of you guys. Now as a YouTuber, you're always looking for that next challenge, something that pushes you out of your comfort zone and something new for the channel. And at the start of the year, I found that challenge. A crash-damaged Bentley Continental, a 6-litre W12 twin-turbo, a car which cost circa £150,000 when it was new. I always wanted one, but I never had the courage to commit. The running costs, the repair bills, the risks were all so high. But this time, I thought, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's take on the big gamble. And just like that, I bought a Bentley. And here it was. My dream Bentley, gliding out from Copart heaven. Maybe not the most typical collection for a Bentley owner, dusty, dirty, and looking rather sorry for itself. But I was grateful, because this was a huge gamble buying it unseen and crashed. I was just relieved to see it was running and driving well.
Guys, I was not expecting that for the car to be driven out. All of the cars we've seen so far have been lifted on the truck, but it's a good sign that the car is running and driving. Let's get it loaded on the truck.
You could see I was so happy, but there were some nerves hiding behind that smile. Because this still is a Bentley which cost £150,000 when it was new, which means parts for this car were not going to be cheap, and if there were any major issues, this could be a huge financial disaster. But having a look around, the brunt of the damage seemed not too bad, and the majority of the car seemed in reasonable condition, considering it's been involved in some sort of crash. Some light damage to the rear bumper and some dents as well on that rear quarter, all of which seemed to be repairable. And yes, it did mean a lot of time and money would be needed to get it sorted, but never did I think that this dream, vision and hard work ahead would end up leading to the car being stolen.
I remember the drive home so clearly. You know, that mix of being so excited but at the same time massively nervous, because I either could have just bought the best thing I've ever bought, but equally this could be the most silly, dangerous and bad decision I've ever made. But from doing the research on the car before I bought it, I worked out the car had been owned by a social media influencer for the last 60,000 miles. I even found photos of the car all over the internet, parked outside luxury homes, posh streets in London, all good signs telling me that this car has come from a good, affluent household. All of these things really reassured me that the car should be okay. It looks like it's just been involved in a bit of a minor accident and needs some TLC to bring it back. But as many of you know, that just wasn't the case.
Within 24 hours of me getting the car home, the car developed an issue where it began to plume thick smoke from the exhaust, quite possibly the worst thing to witness when the engine is a 6-litre W12.
That is a hell of a lot of smoke coming out of the exhaust. Flipping hell.
I took it to a mechanic straight away so I could begin investigating the issue, as the outcome of this problem could majorly impact the direction of the build. It was not looking good.
Now when this happened, I got that horrible sinking feeling you get in your stomach when things just go badly wrong. Because this isn't just any engine, this is a Bentley W12 twin turbo. And that means even the most small, minor of issues can cost you a lot of money. A starter motor, for example, on a normal car, you may be looking at a couple of £100s to get it replaced. With a Bentley W12, the engine needs to come out of the car, meaning you're instantly spending thousands. But even still, if you know me, you know I'll always look for the positive in any situation. And I said to myself, if I can't fix this car cheaply, maybe we're going to rebuild with even more power. or do something crazy like a full engine swap. And yes, I know it would cost a lot of money to do that, but this was going to be a personal car of mine to keep, something which will stay in the collection for the next few years. And I thought if I do go down that route, it would also make some amazing content for you guys. Now, while I thought about what I wanted to do with the engine, I thought I'll make a start with the bodywork. So I took it over to the guys over at 360 Alloys and Body Shop over in Reading to give them the challenge to bring this Bentley back to its former glory, but with a few subtle changes.
This was going to be a huge task. From initially what we thought was a simple repair, very quickly turned into an extensive job. Many man hours went into this rebuild, but it was all going to be worth it.
Oh my God, man.
That wasn't what you were expecting, was it?
The whole car?
That's right. We ended up going for a near enough full-on respray with this Bentley. The time and effort that went into this was second to none. But it's a Bentley. It deserved to be put back to its former glory, and it needs to be done right. Would you just look at that? I mean, come on. You cannot beat having a piano black finish on a luxury car. It is the ultimate choice when it comes to class. And considering the state that this Bentley came in from Copart, I think it's fair to say that the repair quality from the team at 360 was superior.
Now the only thing left to do to the car was get the calipers done red, do the wheels in chrome, and give both the interior and the exterior a full deep clean detail. But I held off doing this because until the engine was fixed, it didn't make sense doing all of this work to make the car look so clean. Plus, there were a few little jobs that needed doing to the car. The suspension would drop once left for a couple of days. It needed an MOT before we could test that engine properly, so I thought it made sense to take the car home, film some content, and find out exactly what's going on with the car. So, to do that, I had to get the Bentley collected from 360 and taken back home. But home was tight on space on the driveway, so I decided to park it at a family member's house, which is very local to where I live. However, that decision to this day is something which I regret massively. It was Sunday night around 1:30 AM and I just got home from a wedding. I was getting ready for bed, and like I usually do on Sunday evenings, I thought I'll watch a bit of YouTube and catch up before I get some sleep, which is when I went to grab my AirPods, and of course, you can never find them. So I went onto my phone and opened up the Find My iPhone app to help me find the AirPods. But while I was on there, I thought, let me just check on the Bentley. Because the car wasn't fully repaired and being driven on the road, I hadn't actually got around to fitting an immobilizer and a tracker. But as a temporary solution, I hid an AirTag in the car. And as I was checking the location for the Bentley, it's at that moment that I realised. The car was being shown parked in a location that I did not recognise. So immediately I jumped into the car and I headed down to this point where we are right now, 4 miles away from where I live. A million thoughts running through my head. Was the car going to be there? What situation am I going to find myself in when I turn up? Or did they find the AirTag and just throw it out? What's going to happen? All I knew is that I needed to get to the car.
Now, since the car was stolen, I have learnt that this is common practice for when car theft takes place. Criminals will often park a stolen car a few miles away in a discreet location and leave it there for 24 hours. This is purely to find out if the car has a tracker fitted, as the time it may take the thief to find and strip out that tracker, it could lead to the police or tracker agent locating both the car and the criminals, or even the premises, such as a chop shop.
So this is exactly where I arrived at around 1:45 AM in the morning. A very dark, quiet and dead-end road from what you can see. However, to my relief, the Bentley was actually parked right in that same spot where the Volvo was, and it all seemed in one piece, which was a massive bonus. And I know a lot of you are thinking right now, well, why didn't you just call the police? Many of you will know I've had a situation like this before, where a car was stolen from my office. In that situation, I called the police, and I'll be honest, there was nothing that they were doing for me. They weren't interested, didn't really want to help, and in that situation, absolutely useless. However, in this situation,
I live 4 miles away, I had the spare key, I knew the location. Whether it was the right or wrong thing to do in that moment, I don't know, but I came to get my car back. Now, of course, naturally, I didn't want to stay here any longer than I needed to. I did not know what situation this could end up becoming. Had the spare key, jumped in the car, straight away, got the car taken back home. Safe, locked up, garaged. I cannot describe to you the feeling of driving your own car knowing that just a couple of hours ago it was stolen. Only God knows where this car would have ended up if I didn't have the ability to track it down. Most probably, this car had been stripped down for parts to be sold on. Even a used front bumper for a Continental can be sold in excess of £1,000. And just look at how many parts the car has. But more so, with the Bentley price tag, this car here could easily have in excess of tens of thousands in parts. Now, I'm not going to recommend doing what I did on your own. It really could have gone wrong. Who knows what situation I was going to get myself into. But in that moment for me, it's instinct which just takes over. And thankfully, the car was intact. No visible damage, and the car did seem to be driving okay. But here's the truth. And this one here, it really changes things for me. Because once your personal possessions have been invaded like that, it can never be the same. This Bentley was a dream car for me when I was a little kid. I always wanted to own one, and I didn't think I'd be in a position with YouTube to buy something like this and build it for you guys on the channel. But being honest, from the moment this car was stolen, I've lost the love for it. It's honestly one of the worst feelings knowing that someone has stolen your car. Every time I look at the Bentley now, I can't help but think back to that night. That sinking feeling in my stomach is just something that's hard to forget. And seeing the car every day, it just brings it all back. I've always tried to be a positive person, to turn negatives into something good. But in this case, the only positive I can find is using this as awareness. A reminder that the world isn't always perfect, and that we need to protect the things we all work so hard for. The truth is, I'll never enjoy this car the way I plan to. The road trips, the challenges, all of the experiences. It just doesn't feel the same anymore. And for that reason, this might just be the end of the road for the Bentley.
Did I find out who stole it? No. Did I think it was personal? No. Did it play on my mind? Yeah, it did, for the first few days. But based on the fact of the car being taken from a very discreet location, as well as there being a lot of thefts recently, I've put it down to the rise in organised crime gangs that just monitor the area, and unfortunately, in this case, my Bentley was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. What will remain a mystery is how my Bentley was taken. There's only 2 ways that I believe that this car could have been stolen. Keyless theft entry, which I'm sure you all know about, or the car being put onto a truck and towed away. But honestly, does it really matter now? No. I got the car back and I haven't suffered a financial loss. It also meant that I didn't have to claim on my insurance. So this time, I got lucky. But unfortunately, this is the world we live in right now. Crime is up, unemployment is at its all-time highest since COVID, times are getting really hard, and luxury cars just like this Bentley are becoming prime targets in this situation. And honestly, I don't see how things are going to get better anytime soon. But if there's just one thing you can take from this video, protect your possessions. Invest in trackers or immobilizers, even cheap security such as a £50 steering lock. It may not stop everyone, but at the end of the day, a deterrent is better than nothing. This wasn't the ending I wanted for the Bentley on the channel, but what I can say is there will be bigger and better things coming very, very soon. But for now, that's the story with my Bentley. Do stick around, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for watching. Take care, guys.